Good day, everyone. So today on CG Market Watch Live, which I usually don't do, I have to do this episode because BTC is on life support, guys. We were all thinking 3-4 would be it, right? Initially, it was hovering around the $3,400, $3,500 level for quite some time. We all were not holding our breath for buck anymore, obviously. We don't really care about what's been happening much in the market. Everyone's on holiday. Traders are obviously not moving the market that much. I think on a daily basis, we were expecting anywhere from 2 to maybe 6% movement, which isn't too bad, especially if you're on leverage. But now, folks, as of last night, we saw Bitcoin prices drop to the 52-week low. Now, take note on this point because this is a very crucial support at the moment. But before we go into that, let us cover what's happening on the cryptocurrency markets on a whole. So if we go to the top 100 cryptocurrencies, of course by coin market cap, you will see right now we are having a total market cap of 105 billion. Wow, not too long ago, it was at least 800 billion. Okay, 800 billion was the high, and that was when Bitcoin was anywhere from 19,000 to 20,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. But right now, we are at $3,250 as we speak. But that being said, let's just go and round up what are the top 20 cryptocurrencies as of now. So you have Ripple at 29 cents. I guess I would say from a US dollar standpoint, it's kind of okay. I've never really seen Ripple, and of course Ripple has overtaken Ethereum to be the number two spot for the top 5 cryptocurrencies. Ethereum hasn't seen much daylight of late. It was we gave the call to actually short Ethereum from $150, and we anticipate actually Ethereum to go to the low of $70 as of in the next 3 weeks or so. Obviously, if Constantinople does well, especially in Q1, perhaps maybe the price will be sustainable, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. I see further downside pressure for Ethereum. A lot of the projects, as we all know, are actually unwinding. There was also news that even SEC had to shut down a very successful project recently, and we're talking about a legit cryptocurrency project. But even the long arm of SEC and these founders, from what I understand, they were from Princeton, and they were in talks with SEC, but they could not even help the project stay afloat, and obviously all the investor funds were returned, which is a good thing. This is what I call about accountability. But what I'm just saying at the end of the day is just a shame that even credible projects with credible teams and credible people on board, even SEC would not allow this to pass. So they probably have to do their fundraising through private placement rather than an ICO. Okay, so Stellar, currently now at 10 cents, at 2 billion in terms of market cap. We have Tether at 1.859. More stable coins will be appearing in the market very, very soon. Especially those who are enthusiasts who are still into the space. I think I'll talk a little bit about the whole stablecoin situation and what it actually means for Bitcoin going forward. So we have EOS at 1.7, looking very attractive, I must say, at 188, below the $2 point. Obviously, during the very long ICO period, you're seeing that EOS was actually below $2. Now it's actually at 188. So from a price point, I would say it's looking pretty attractive, with pretty much quite a lot of volatility as well, especially if there are offerings in terms of other offerings and other pairings for EOS on other platforms. And I think there will be lots of volatility for the whole space. So there are opportunities to make money, but at the same time, we have to take a very cautionary stance, especially if we are leading up towards the Christmas period and the New Year period. That will also lead to the Chinese New Year period. So we're going to have pretty much a very low volume market. Not saying that volatility has decreased. In fact, there is still a lot of volatility, but if you're caught in the wrong direction, I would say that probably you'll be caught with your pants down. That being said, we have Bitcoin Cash. No comments. $89.51 at the moment. We have Litecoin at $23.71. Not too same thing, guys. Last year, during the May period, if I remember correctly, you know, wow, it was at this price where I mentioned that Litecoin was going to be really attractive, and that was when Litecoin was $25. Now it's $23. And you know, I might load up on Litecoin, especially if I see more developments that are favorable for the ecosystem, especially on what Charlie Lee has been working on at the moment. I think you know, I've met him personally. I feel that he's really a genuine guy, although he has you know, sold off most of his Bitcoins, most of his Litecoins, and has put him in a position to really focus on business development and making sure that Litecoin has a strong ecosystem going forward. Yeah, I would say that there will be opportunities. Then we have number 9, Bitcoin SV, which is the fork of Bitcoin Cash. Well, this is obviously run by Craig Wright and crew. Well, I really don't see the need for more. You know, if we already have Litecoin, you have Bitcoin Cash, you have Bitcoin itself, and we have the stable coins that are going to be coming out very soon. To me, guys, honestly, you don't need that many cryptocurrencies out there in the market at the moment, because if people are only willing to use Bitcoin as a form of a transfer of value, or at least for a store of value at the moment, I would say that it would be better as a store of value. But right now, as the price keeps tanking, it really doesn't show very much. I will be also kind of giving my thoughts about the whole situation with the trade wars, and at the same time, if we fall into a recession, a full-blown recession, right, what are we going to expect for the cryptocurrency markets, right? And then we have Cardano at 2.9 cents at 757 million. We have Monero at 42.37, the privacy coin, which I find I don't know. I think privacy coins may have their purpose, but I don't feel that it cannot be integrated with existing coins that we already know. I don't feel that we need a specific privacy coin. I feel that all these privacy layers can always be put on top of them and later added on. I find that Monero's use case is really dipping, and that is why the price is also showing. But to be fair, everything is dipping drastically. Then we have Binance, looking very attractive at $4.68. Binance has been expanding offices around the world. Singapore office opened up not too long ago with investments from Vertex Ventures, which is actually a subsidiary of Temasek. I think that is showing a lot of potential, especially for the fact that when you look at a subsidiary of Temasek Holdings, which is Temasek Holdings is one of our which is Singapore's private investment arm, and then from then you have a subsidiary which is Vertex Ventures, and Vertex Ventures themselves are very strict and stringent about where they invest in. So what's the play here? I think the play here is fiat to crypto, which is very, very important. Fiat to crypto at the moment is one of the key gateways that we all must establish. At the same time, obviously from all those transactions alone, it's going to be very, very profitable. So take note on that. Then we have IOTA, Internet of Things. I would say that this project obviously will take some time, but I think there's quite a bit of good stuff happening with the Internet of Things going on. But let's just wait and see how it all builds up. NEM, not much action from NEM. They are pretty much well funded from what I understand. They're still actively developing their product. At the same time, they are very focused on enterprise solutions. So that is where the main bulk of where their clients are coming from. They are not as, I would say that NEM is not as vocal or as public with their announcements. I would say that they are always building. I always see them at most conferences and whatever crypto, blockchain show, IT, fintech conference, they're usually there. So I'm just wondering, right, for the fact that they have spent all this money on showcasing themselves, It's kind of hard to determine their product as a whole. Probably it would be some time before we can go and speak to them. I would give them another two more years before I think we can really see what they have developed so far. Then we have Dash, which is digital cash. So far, well, 62.14. Masternodes were really hot at the time. I think it was $300 per Dash, right? But right now, I think it has fallen significantly to 62.14. Ethereum Classic sadly has lost the majority of their lead developer team. They could not seek funding. They could not seek funding from the community, and that just goes to show how much confidence the space has, and it's a shame to see the lead team go, right? Obviously, the platform, why it even still has value is because it's open source. So thankfully, I guess because of this open source platform, people can still build stuff on Ethereum Classic, right? If they choose to. But it's just yeah, it's sad to see the lead developer team no longer being able to develop and find funding. Then you have Neo, still functioning, obviously still building, still developing in China, and we have Zcash, and I think DAO. This is probably a MakerDAO or DAO Maker. Yeah, I think this is very new. So guys, that is the top 20 as of now. But I want to make sure that you all are understanding one thing. As we move into this space, okay, these top 20 tokens may not always be the same. So although everything, especially if you're new and you're watching this episode for the very first time, I must admit, it is really attractive, okay? It isn't as cheap as when I was in, that was back in 2016, but I must say that because of the heavy correction, a lot of the space, especially if you look at Google Trends, people are actually looking at Bitcoin once again. People are looking at cryptocurrencies once again. But will that space change dynamically with the introduction of STOs, or we know them as security tokens? And will that be the official label for all these projects and companies that are planning to raise funds within this new space? How will that be like? I think it's going to be a very exciting 2019. So let me go to the charts very quickly now. Okay, so this is the trading view, and as of yesterday, basically Bitcoin just broke its so-called support level. I mean, you know, guys, the support level, right, it becomes a meme at the moment. You know, everyone anywhere will know that. What support, Ryan? What support are you talking about? If you're talking about 1 hour candles, sure, there's some consolidation, there's some kind of support, but in actual fact there's no support. It's just from bad to worse. But you know what, one thing I do notice, okay, and I'm wondering whether those of you who are still in the market, whether you all agree, the volume is actually dropping. It's not as significant as it used to be. The drops, I would say, from a percentage standpoint, especially when your Bitcoin is priced at $3,000, every $200 to $300 drop is pretty significant. Obviously, when Bitcoin was $8,000 to $7,000, maybe a $300,000 drop wasn't that significant. But right now, every $200 to $300 drop is 9 to 10%. So it is coming to a point where, in fact, it's even correcting as we speak. But it has come to the point where it's the 52-week low. It's at the 52-week support level, which is at $3,200. It's $50 away, guys. And today, based on the intraday, it actually hit a slight low of $3,170, but it actually recovered back up above $3,200. So what I'm seeing right now is that there is a respect for that support line. But could there be more selling pressure before we move on? Right now, looking at the cloud, right? If you look at the Ichimoku cloud, it's really very thick. Okay, when it's so thick, right, it just means that there's a lot of suppression happening at that point. And even if there was going to be any kind of pump, or at least some kind of recovery, it will be very short-lived. So unfortunately, short term, we are still looking at shorting Bitcoin, but it is actually very risky to be shorting at the 52-week low, guys, because it is high risk, high reward. I'll be very honest with you. It's high risk, high reward. Let's just put it this way. There are analysts that are saying that we could drop to 2.8, okay, which is not very far from here. There are analysts that are saying that we could drop even to 1.8. So who is going to get it right? Honestly, it is anybody's game. It is about the amount of risk that you are willing to take. At this point of time, if you're an investor, I would say that biting off small chunks of Bitcoin isn't a bad idea. I sincerely mean that. Why do I say that? Infrastructure is still being built around it. Custodial services, you have institutions focusing on trading platforms. Derivative products that are appearing, which is going to attract fiat money. Although derivative products are not the exact, they are only a reflection of the actual product, but it's still something for the fiat world to come in. Okay, so these things cannot be denied. The only question is the activation. Could they delay it another 6 months to even 12 months because they are saying that it's not ready? Maybe they want to accumulate more Bitcoin and screw everyone over and have no Q1 bull run. It could happen. Where was the Santa Claus rally that we were all waiting for? It never happened. So I would say from an investor standpoint first, that take small chunks and bites off the market. Right now is the best time to sign up on your Coinbase account, to sign up on a crypto fiat exchange in your country and just get started. It's really one of those best times. Look, let's say if it does go to 1,800, you contributed $100 right now, sure, it becomes $50, okay? But if you continue to dollar cost average into BTC at this point, as opposed to everyone else who got in above 10,000, who got in above 15,000, there were stories of folks who actually went all in at 17,000. Are you that far off from all of them? Obviously, if you're someone new watching this for the very first time again, you're not, because it has already significantly retraced a good 85%. 85%, guys. So what I'm just trying to say is that it's attractive, okay? Could it fall more? Sure. It looks like it could, right? Based on the wedge that is forming at the moment, it's a bearish wedge. But you know what? If it maintains at the 3250 and it has a very, very strong bounce, right? You could see it recover back. But we're going to be range bound for now, okay? I'll be very honest with you. We're looking at least a fixed range between 3K to probably about 5K, and that's it for a good 6 months time frame. So this is like your window to do something about it, okay? And you know what? What will actually bring it to 1.8? Honestly, what will bring it to 1.8 is a full-blown actual recession and a very, very strong further correction in the stock markets. As we all know, the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones actually reduced by a good 20%. I think 20% from the high, no, not 20% yet, but if it does fall another 20%, that would put the stock market into a bear market situation. Now, the stock market being in the bear market situation doesn't really mean much. It could just be a 10-year mark and everyone is just pulling money out, pulling money from away from the market and just maintaining a cautionary stance, right? Because we all know that the trade wars is going on, and who knows what Trump will come up with. And if talks become favorable, that will bring the market up. Hopefully, once the stock markets have a positive sentiment, the VIX is currently now, which is the volatility index that you can find on the CBOE, that is an indicator of fear. With that indicator of fear, it was at the high of a 26 points at that point. But right now, it's kind of corrected to about 20. So hopefully, we see it kind of range bound between 18 to about 25. We should be okay. But take note that if the stock markets are correcting, don't forget that the tech space is the one that actually went up the most, okay, which has outperformed the index for the longest time. A lot of those companies, however, have already grown to a size, we're talking about huge, gargantuan size here. So since that it went up so much, you're going to see a lot of all these companies have to have their funds, as in they're going to retain, they're going to actually take money off the table, or at least fund managers that have been investing in FANG, right? Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, okay? All these companies obviously are going to have some kind of retracement. It's just a given, right? Because if I've had enjoyed a 10-year bull run, I think it would be only smart, especially as a fund manager, to take some money off the table. Since I anticipate high interest rate environment, that shows that the banks are obviously are going to be maintaining a lot of risk, right? Or at least they are not willing to take on a lot of risk. That way they're also hiking the interest rates. This is something that we have to take note of. Now, what the heck does that got to do with crypto, Ryan? It has everything to do with crypto. Guys, crypto is one of the most volatile spaces, and it's in the tech space. Blockchain is part of tech. Blockchain is part of fintech. So bear in mind, when companies in our space are so young, we're talking about less than 2 years, okay, sometimes even less than 3 years, okay, they have not actually shown proper adoption, which is true. And imagine if you have lack of adoption at the moment, you're going to have heavy sell down in this whole space. So could we see 1,008? We very well can. So expect further near-term downside, but the long run, we're really not too far from the bottom. And I know guys, I admit I was wrong to say that 6,000 was the low. I got in at 6,000 myself, by the way. And my assets, my value has dropped 50%. Do I have to feel sour about it? No, because I've been waiting for quite a while. I was waiting quite a while. So for me to enter at 6,000 because of that very long consolidation, it was something that I would have done. But right now, could it go down to 1,008? I'm definitely more cautious now. I'm definitely taking bits and pieces. But as a trading perspective, it has been really attractive. But it's a zero-sum game at the moment. And I find that whatever Satoshis that we profit from doesn't seem to really compensate for the dollar drop. But that being said, especially if you're a trader, you know what? We have something really exciting to share with you right now. So, as you can see, we are going to be introducing CG Protege. So, what is CG Protege? It is a new Discord group that we are going to be opening up to all our viewers for absolutely free. Now, what is the purpose of CG Protege? I think right now, the market needs a professional, it needs someone to handhold all our members. I think right now, it is the best time for everyone to start learning and getting professional help. So CG has been known in the space to really guide people. We've been having our investor group and our trader group for more than a year already, okay, ever since 2017 of last year. So what we want to do right now is to give back by helping all these people who are new, who do not know how to trade the cryptocurrency markets, and get them into our free Discord group. I think it is really important because the Discord group is going to make sure that your guys are updated with the monthly newsletter that we will come out from CG. There's going to be announcements with regards to how the market is going to be performing. I think that's going to be very essential, especially if you're someone who is novice or relatively new to the space. At the same time, all this, right, is going to lead up to competition for traders. That's right. Because I realize there are a lot of OG traders, especially when I read the troll box. For most, it's really entertaining to read the troll box, guys. But right now, we want to open this up to all the CG Protege Discord group, that if you are a new trader or you're someone who is an experienced trader, we are going to be able to give you a really, really good rewards and benefits. So how is that going to work? So this will only work if you join us within CG Protege group. That's one. At the same time, you are part of our referral program. We're going to send all these links in the description and with Huobi. So Huobi is our main sponsor for all these products at the moment. We're going to be offering all these gifts, merchandise, and every trader who wins big, okay, who wins big on our platform, they're going to get $100 in terms of USD Tether. Now, this USD Tether is a point card that will be used to offset your trading fees. That's right. So there will be a winner every week that we'll be announcing. The winner that does the most trades and is the most profitable, right? We will announce the winners. So just remember, guys, this is the part where when you start trading on Huobi, okay, you're going to be able to win yourself $100 USD Tether point card. At the same time, you're going to be able to win HT tokens and merchandise as well. All these things are going to be coming out, and it's going to be a full service, guys. That means even if you, as long as you're part of our referral program, our group, we are also going to be able to make sure that we provide excellent service for you. Ever had the situation where, you know, sometimes exchanges get too overwhelmed with issues, right? Sometimes because of that, it gives you a very bad experience. So what we are going to do for all our CG Protege group is that we make sure that if you have issues, you can forward those issues to us and we can forward it to Huobi directly. Sometimes you just have to go through another medium so that you get things done. So this is an additional benefit which I think that is only exclusive for those who are under our referral program and in our CG Protege group. Okay, so that being said, okay, firstly, I think Huobi is, without Huobi sponsoring all this, it would not have been possible. Huobi is basically one of the world's largest digital asset and cryptocurrency exchanges. You cannot find a better platform at the moment. They are launching so many products, guys. I'm just telling you that it's going to be a really exciting 2019, and you're just going to see more and more things happen in the space. I really am looking forward to seeing everyone in the CG Protege group. And of course, guys, stay invested and stay in the market, guys, because 2019 is going to be huge. See you guys soon. For more crypto-related content, check out our website now.